Good morning. Namaste, everyone. I'm your host, Rashmi. I'm a parent coach, and along with that, a very proud core team member of Spectrum, the awareness group, and, and its ambassador. The theme for this year on this platform is coming together and taking this leap forward. I welcome you all to episode 8 of Talking Fingers, Voices of 16 Indian non-speaking autistic youngsters. It's a path-breaking book and has received an amazing response. This book talks about self-advocacy. So gracing our platform today, we will meet Advocate Shailaja Sharma, mother of Satvik, a young boy with spectrum, and one of co-authors of this very prestigious book. I really welcome you, Shailaja ma'am. Shailaja ma'am is an advocate by profession and have been working for over 17 years in inclusive education rights for disabled children for past 17 years, as I mentioned. She believes in creating hope and not sympathy. She believes in this very strongly. And on this note, I welcome her. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to the viewers live. And it's an honor to be here on the Talking Fitness platform, which has actually given some kind of morale boost to Satvik.
Yeah, I'm very sure. So let's delve into our discussion today to know more about Satvik and about you, parents. So, ma'am, tell our viewers something more about yourself.
Ma'am, I'm an advocate by profession. I specialize in company laws. But in 2004, when Satvik was born, and later in the 2 years that he was diagnosed with autism, my focus shifted from the company laws, corporate laws to the disability sector. So since then, I have been working with the disability field, and specifically when we started with the education for Satvik, the turnaround was such that I had continuously focused for the rights of children with disabilities for their educational. I truly believe in equality and equity, and hence there was a need to make the system understand that the rights of children on the disability with the disability cannot be different from the rights of children who are neurotypicals. So if you are taking the children out for a prayer, you cannot discriminate between the two, that these will be standing in the sun and they will not be standing. There could be a reasonable accommodation that if a child cannot bear that heat or that amount, then he may be put to stand in a shade. But then don't discriminate to the core that you're not giving the same kind of sunshine or the air. I started from there. And since then, inclusion is what I have been asking for, what I have been preaching for, what I have been requesting to authorities. And there's hope when you don't give up. Things do turn, they change to good.
Yes, and definitely, even this book is a hope for all such parents, children, and the community at large. So, how has your journey been from diagnosis of Satvik to writing a book?
Ma'am, when he was diagnosed, it was all like dark. We did not know what is happening. So people would be suggesting so many different things, such variety of things that you would be confused whether it would work, it would not work. It started with the flashcards, and Satvik would just throw away the flashcards. So we had to put in mind, when you say कि not one person, every child is different on the spectrum, probably something different was required to make him understand and teach. And I had this faith, and I believe faith can move mountains. I had this belief that the child is intelligent enough, he has good observation skills, so he should be taught in some different fashion. And by grace of God, I met parents who were doing good. They guided me, specifically Mrs. Kavita Sharma ji. She guided me along. नहीं नहीं साहब चल जो कराओ, करेगा करेगा. And I would just take notes from her. Okay, let me try this. If not, this is not working, then something else would work. And from that day of making him teacher asking me, ma'am, ये left से भी लिखता है, ma'am इसको right से लिखाना है, right से लिखाना है, नहीं left से गंदा लिख रहा है, right से अच्छा लिख रहा है. Leave him, whatever he wants to do, just let him do. And when he was 10, we found that he was ambidextrous. He has the ability to write from equally good from both hands, as and when he wanted to. He is not very happy writing. He has the ability to write, but he is not happy writing. Academics is something, when he will be in a mood, he may write, but otherwise he will not. Then he paints with both hands, and he has been awarded for the same by the Delhi government for painting beautiful paintings, beautiful abstracts using both hands. So this is one skill we had to find out. If it was to go by the path which is shown, कि नहीं एक हाथ से रोक दो दूसरे से चलाओ, maybe things would have been different. And the ability to communicate came with the use of the iPad. That was path breaking. My child is happy typing. He types icons and he communicates through them. So if he wants to have a juice, he will go to the Google and have an icon for juice. And from there, starting from there, from typing on the iPad with prompted words to typing in the MS Word, that has been the journey. It has been slow and steady, but then when you don't leave things, good things happen.
Yes.
And we were in searching for like what next. In between, he was doing wonderful other works as well. So the most beautiful thing that happened was when he was painting, he was not writing his name. So one beautiful moment was, Satvik, if you can write over here also, please have your signatures. So we had to tell him, see, you're going to the galleries, everybody writes, everybody signs. So when he started signing, that was an achievement. The little achievements, and then this is how the train moves. Then we connected to Padma ji with, again, Kavita Sharma ji connected me to Kavita ji. She's writing a book. I'd like Satvik to work. We'll try. I'm not sure whether he'll answer 25 questions, but I wanted to experiment. And it took a while. He was typing, putting icons. Then, Satvik, you need to change this. From this icon, you put a word to it. And finally, the book happened. I'm really glad that was a transition period from leaving pure text and dropping the icons.
Yes. So that's a beautiful journey for you as a parent, and I'm sure for Satvik also. The hope you build in and the faith you had in your child brought about so much. Also, I remember, in the book somewhere, Satvik has mentioned, I love to communicate with icons. My mother wants me to write, I want pizza instead of showing the icon of a pizza. So here, what you mentioned,
that's how the transition has happened. When you have the capability of typing, you have the capability of doing, and you're just escaping. Please do it for at least something. And he has never. We could never bribe him for certain things. If you do this, we will get you this. We could never bribe him for this.
Right. So how did Talking Fingers, although you mentioned you were introduced to Padma ma'am, how did it happen to you, and how did it change you and Satvik and the entire family as a whole?
Ma'am, the transition, it is actually a breathtaking episode in the life as it is, because till now, people who met Satvik or who had spent some time with Satvik knew his capabilities or his abilities. Now, every time you need not prove everybody, have videos that Satvik is doing this, Satvik is doing that. But on a larger platform, when with the hope that yes, this person has responded to these many questions, that is the faith, he has developed confidence. Now, if somebody else puts a question to him, he is happy replying back. Earlier, it used to be his demands and his answers. Now it is the two-way round.
So as I understand, you mean to say the book has developed that confidence of communication for him. and he feels
So
happy.
the two-way communication has come up. So
Right.
when we went to the exhibition, the World Book Fair was here, and we took Satvik along there. People were there to have a picture with him. He's a very camera shy person. So for two people, he ignored, and then he realized, okay, they're giving good vibes to me. Let me have a picture with them. Then communication was on. Then he would have his phone and just say thank you. So this is something that has developed, and it is becoming creating more awareness on others also, that yes, this is possible. Live, we have seen this person has written a book and he's communicating here with us.
So it built in that confidence in him, and definitely as a family, it's a much looked upon moment. So Padma is here. Padma, she says, totally agree. It's a perseverance and resilience that has helped Satvik flourish. And undoubtedly, the parents who have been the supporting wings behind the child has brought about the best. So that's really wonderful, ma'am. Um, since we've been talking about Satvik and your journey, so a little more elaborate, we would want you to be here. What has been your journey as parents with in raising Satvik? Also, what are Satvik's likes and dislikes?
Ma'am, during the lockdown, it was the like and dislike that was really on. But we had full time to be with him, and he was totally with us. So his iPad and his attention to ice cream and iced tea were certain things that he really liked, and he enjoys traveling extensively. We took him to Amarnath. He loved the helicopter ride. We usually we take him out for long tours, and he enjoys long drives. He enjoys.
Yeah, so
We've never been challenged of, okay, we're going somewhere, whether we should take Satvik or we don't. We know he has adapted himself to the journey mode, excursion, adventure. All it has always liked.
right, and so you have introduced him to all such things
Ma'am, I
alongside.
have introduced him to whatever my parents could provide me for my childhood. I have ensured that he does not miss out on anything,
Right.
just because he's on the spectrum.
That's
From horse riding to swimming to cycling to skating, every possible thing where he's interested, I have introduced him to everything.
Yeah, so here I would at this point I would like to read one of Satvik's thought from the book only, and I couldn't stop myself but to read. So the question was, what was the happiest day of your life, and what was special about that day? So Satvik has really, while you mentioned this, Satvik has really mentioned, I was struggling to learn horse riding. The first few days were trouble getting onto the horse. When I finally did, mounting a full grown high white horse and galloping away in rhythm to the horse, I felt like wow. So,
The story behind this is my father was a very good horse rider. He taught all of us, me, my sister, and my brother, horse riding. And I used to show pictures to Satvik. Satvik, see, Mama used to mount this. You will also do this. You will also learn. So when he started, it was a real struggle. I mean, it was difficult for me to just make him sit on the horse. But slowly and steadily, I removed the saddle. That's the basic of how it goes. We removed the saddle and we asked him, from a raised platform, jump. Start, jump, and be with the horse. This is how you have an affinity with the horse. The horse stays, and then if you're a good rider, I mean, you have the rhythm with the horse that gives you the emotional balance and the pride. So when you start having that rhythm with the horse's movement, you actually feel that. Everybody feels that. Whosoever is riding a horse would definitely tell you that he feels like a king or a queen.
certainly, and I can see that pride in the mother, definitely. So,
Little achievements, one should be happy.
yes,
You're achieving one step ahead, that means there's hope for another.
definitely. And you really put this message across that each step is a hope to the next one. So, and being in the moment is what.
From writing your name to writing a sentence and then writing a book.
Yes, a beautiful journey that really shows uh, for a mother who's really proud of accomplishments of her son. So ma'am, we have been often talking of mental health, and that's always been one of our asks to parents. So mental health for caregivers and the us time in the family, as well as involvement with a lot of activities which we do with our children. How do you balance that, and what is your point of view on this?
My mantra it is not me time, it should be more of you time.
Yeah.
Okay, more of us time. I don't believe in going on an adventure leaving your child, but I would be more happy and more proud to ascertain that my child is also enjoying what I am enjoying. Me time is also required. Uh, Develop a hobby, create good friendly relations, have be social, but then socialize with those who can respect your child as much as they expect to be respected themselves. It has to be mutual. You need respect, your child needs equal respect, not just from you, but from the society you're mingling around.
So, like you mentioned, it is all about us time and how you take up that. So, how did you do with Satvik all of these activities so that it could give a little more insight to our listeners and parents that how could we?
I just gave an example of visiting Amarnath. Now, usually, what people do if they have young children, they will leave them either with their grandparents or with their cousins or so and so. Um, we thought maybe if we were to go, we will take Satvik along. And just because we had faith in him, he did not trouble us. So the point here is happiness without the child, the diagnosis of the disability is just a label. Why can't we just forget about the diagnosis and treat them as a normal human being? If age appropriate, if the child wants that, okay, mama, you go out and I am happy home, I am ready to leave him home. But if he wants to accompany me and he can be happy with me, I can be happy in his company as well.
That's really wonderful. That's really wonderful.
These are personal choices. Maybe I may not be happy going out individually, but if somebody feels happiness in that, create an environment where you can leave your child in a safe zone, go out, charge yourself, but then be ready to again be in charge of the child that the God has given to you. Usually people have a lot of stress and come to a point of breaking and into depression, and you talked about mental health issues, thinking about what after us. I personally believe what when we are here, give them the maximum amount of love, care, whatever best you can do for them, whatever you can make them when you are present. Why divide them of that love and care when you are alive? When you are not there, definitely something would happen. Something else would be there, somebody else or some other thing would happen. But what about right now? We do not have control on, say, what would happen 5 years in time, or maybe 15, 30, 40 years. We do not know when we are leaving the world. But then we actually know tomorrow we are not doing that. At least do the best in the present.
A very strong message you have put across to all the parents that live in the moment, enjoy that time with your children.
One has to be cautious. I do not I don't say that just don't think about the future, but then don't destroy the present just in thought of stressing yourself for the future.
Absolutely, absolutely, fully agree with you on this. So Vani, ma'am is also here. She's saying, yes, throw away the label. Totally agree with the us time, which is always exciting and filled with happiness. So yeah, so just because it's your child, you need to enjoy your family.
If you cannot enjoy your child's presence, how do you expect the others to be happy with your child?
Right. And Brunali Gupta ma'am was also here, and she's truly agreeing with whatever you're saying. She says, so true, small achievements, one should be happy. Parents should be confident about their own children or child, whatever may come. So
I'll give you a small example. When Satvik was quite young, somebody would come, teachers would come and tell me, "Ma'am, ये तो भागता ही नहीं है. Ma'am, he does not run. He does not run." Okay. I used to park my car, say, almost a kilometer away from the school parking, and both of us would run. And we ran for almost 6 months. Every passing by, there's a compound, Subbuddha Park, there's a compound, 3 different schools. So everyone used to watch us running around. Somebody would actually ask me, "Kya hua? Car kharab ho gayi?" Kuch nahi hua. I am running to ensure that my child also runs. Now, maybe he's not responding to you, I agree. But then he has the ability to run, and he can just run as fast as I can run. Or maybe somebody else can run. For every little thing, ये नहीं कर सकता, नहीं हम करवा नहीं पा रहे. Please मानिए, हम नहीं करवा पा रहे, कर तो वो सब कुछ सकता है.
Exactly. And who else but other than parents know the best for their children, and they will know where their capability and capacity lies, and hence you can, like, you had that full faith of it running, and you gave him that.
If you're lucky enough, there would be people who would believe in your belief. And I have been lucky to have a family, the extended family, who have extendedly supported for something.
Right.
There has been no hitch.
Definitely.
That's God's grace.
Yes. So, ma'am, what is your message for fellow parents, therapists, and the community as a whole from your experiences and what you see across? So we would definitely like to have your perspective.
To the therapist and the educator, my only request is, please bring in more hope in the parents. You know the technical know-how, but the mental health of the parent lies somewhere in your guidance, in your hope, and what you create for them. Even if there's slightest of hope, please bring that out. Don't devoid the parent of any hope of development. That is my request to them. And trust me, when there are therapists and teachers who would say, this is possible, let us try. They may know that it may be very difficult, but if they just say it, let us try. Let us fail, and then we'll believe that this is not possible, but let us try. If not this method, then some other method. But keeping that faith and hope alive gives a lot of hope to the parent, and it deals with a lot. It makes the person bring in that confidence that it is okay to try.
And also your message this was your message for the teachers and the therapist. And what is your message for parents?
Now, for the parents, please, God has given you some duty. Do it religiously. Do it religiously. Have that faith in your child that because it is my child, at least the qualities I have, some 50%, 20% would be there imbibed in the DNA, and I need to rub them up, polish them up. This child has something good in it, and I need to find out if he's not doing or giving difficulties. Maybe we have to put in more efforts.
Yes. So taking everything in your stride and happily progressing.
You need to have the focus. What is happening here? What is happening here? What the other person is telling you? Okay, please listen to everybody, but then do it with your will and your faith that come whatever may, I am with my child and I will not leave him till I bring in something good.
Beautiful, beautiful, ma'am. So one of the viewers here, Harsha Shah, agrees and she says that she has taken her child to all the places along with her, as you had also mentioned about Satvik. And she says it has helped the child to cope up with a lot of situations and a lot of things. And Vani is also here. She says acceptance and awareness both begins at home. So unless, what are your thoughts on this?
Mama, I would say I'm really proud of Vaniji who's been doing this. This is how you connect. How you will connect to your child when you put him to different situations. Otherwise, you're providing a very structured form. I don't agree with what a lot of therapists say. वो स्ट्रक्चर दीजिए अब आप स्ट्रक्चर में एक बार उसको कैद कर देंगे एंड देन यू से कि अब स्ट्रक्चर से ये दे डिसलाइक बीइंग चेंज टू रूटीन्स एंड दिस एंड दैट let the child adapt. There has to be routine for certain things, but then the child should know that life is not always with the routine. If you want a change, the child also needs that change. And unless you make him learn that, how will he understand that even changes are good and I need to enjoy that? Let them have that feeling of enjoyment. They have feelings.
Yes. I happened to read one bit in the book, and it said Satvik had mentioned that though it was like non-speaking does it mean non-thinking? So he said, I speak less, but I think a lot.
He gets vibrations for people, and he understands. He can actually read your eyes. If you frown, he would understand. If you are mimicking, he would understand. Any expression is noted by him. Maybe I might miss that expression, but he is very observant of all expressions, and he understands everything.
Yeah. So at this point, I would like to read one more thing from the book, and it says it's the question for children, the way your life has changed before and after you started to communicate. So here Satvik's experience, or what he has penned down, he says, I was a mystery for all. Unpredictable is what I used to hear for myself, and still I am. Unable to express my simple wants and feelings used to make me cry or shout. I now feel more connected at parties, my uncles, aunts, cousins, and grandparents. No, I have choices too. So
this is where his visa comes. So now when we have parties, everybody knows Satvik, what is you going to order? So Satvik would have his anybody's iPhone and he would have his icons, and then that's it. So even if you go out, then also he will have his choices. At home also he will have his choices. Like any other normal person, his cousins come around. Oh, भैया आप क्या लेंगे? अच्छा, if they are coming to our place, he will have his iPad. तू बता, what will you have? What will you have? This way. So he's communicating, so he's getting along with everybody. Unless there was communication, अच्छा, जो सबके लिए है, वही Satvik will also have the same thing. See, in a routine, it is okay. What is cooking at the home, you will have. But when you are in a party and you are having choices for the others are asking, okay, I'll have this, I'll have that. Now, when he's able to communicate, everybody knows his choices as well.
yes. So making everybody part of everything in around us is the message you have put across for all of us. So it's been really thoughtful of you, and
this is what true inclusion is. If we cannot have that respect to mingle, make our child mingle with the society, who else will do it?
Definitely, and parents should take it to stride and be really confident of exposing their children to all situations possible.
Ma'am, the more the exposure, the lesser would be the tantrums the children throw.
Yes. Yeah, so I think you have articulated so much, and our listeners, parents, whosoever are there must be agreeing to what Shailaja ma'am has told. The book in itself gives you a lot of insights to explore and to see how, just mere not able to talk doesn't mean it is an end to communication. You can express it in a lot more ways, and this beautiful book, Talking Fingers, is a testimony to each child who have expressed themselves beautifully here. So thank you so much.
Variety of expressions.
Yes, so thank you.
Fall in love with all these children who have expressed themselves so beautifully, and a huge thanks for Padmaji for bringing this out.
And a huge thank you and shout out to you for sparing your time and talking to us here about Satvik, your journey, and the book. Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a wonderful day. And to our viewers, a very bright day ahead with all of such beautiful insights. Thank you so much, ma'am.